What's good, everybody? It is your boy, the Superjjjet here, and the iCarly Revival Season 3 just came out today. So, I'm going to give you my opinion and my review of Season 2 and tell you how I feel about the show and how hyped I am about the following season. So, without further ado, let's get this started. So what's very interesting about this season is for the fact that a lot of the plot points that happened in the first season are not going to be showing up in this season. And I kind of get it because there were a couple of criticisms with the whole idea of Carly having a lot of relationship problems, and that showed up a bunch of times in this first season. So the second season, they basically put it under the rug. The first season left off with a cliffhanger stating that which of these guys is Carly going to end up dating. But literally in the first episode alone of season 2, Carly said no to both of them. And I always took that as, oh, they're going to sweep all the overarching story about miserable Carly under the rug, and they're just going to do random episodes like they usually did in the original series. So I was okay with that 100%. But that won't change the fact that there is some kind of hint of an overarching story, which was Carly and Freddie's relationship. It was glimpsed throughout the season, but it wasn't really a big deal. It was basically the first episode. Freddie was like, I'll pretend to be your boyfriend so your two exes won't get mad at you. Another criticism that the first season had that I really did enjoy that they made a kind of a big deal about was the show iCarly itself. Because even though the first season stated that Carly wanted to bring back iCarly, she didn't really do iCarly in the show enough. So in season 2, they fixed that by showing iCarly even more. Yeah, there are whole moments where something she's doing is relating to the show iCarly, which is great. Once again, that is something that we needed to see. I didn't understand why that wasn't a main focal point in the first season. So yes, there is a lot of praise about this season. I really enjoyed all of it. But there is a downside with season 2. And that is the fact that a lot of the characters do not do much in season 2. Carly, obviously, and Freddie, obviously, but I could argue that Spencer, Millicent, and Harper didn't really do much in season 3. Don't get me wrong, though. Spencer did have some kind of story, which is basically him building his own restaurant in the same spot where the Groovy Spooty was, because it became vacant, and he just wanted to find his own flavor, fit, whatever, and that's the most out of it. It gets built in one episode, and that's basically it. That's just like their usual restaurant hangout spot now. Even the whole story about Harper and her girlfriend, they didn't even bring up in this season. They just said, oh, she's on tour, and you never see her again. And I could say Millicent probably had it the worst out of all of them because she didn't do a single thing in this show. And maybe I understand why, because no one liked her character in the first season. She was acting like this bratty girl, and she didn't do much in the following season. She just basically was Freddie's daughter, and that's basically everything. She doesn't even want to be a celebrity anymore, so they just put her in the corner. Let's talk about the cliffhanger ending that happened at the end of season 2. So, to give you context, the entire season, Freddie had a girlfriend named Pearl. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I had anything against the character whatsoever. I did enjoy her character. Personally, for me, it was kind of hyped or hinted before season 2 started that the credit thing was going to happen again. And I was wondering, when was this going to happen? Because throughout the season, Freddie and Pearl had a really good relationship, and there was not really any hints on the idea that Carly was still interested in Freddie, even though personally we all knew she was. The final episode of the season showed that it is Freddie's birthday, and Pearl wants to throw this big birthday party. And throughout the episode, Pearl is messing up a lot, and Carly knew the situation, and she knew how to solve the problem. Obviously because Carly knows Freddie the most. So yes, Carly will know what to do at situations like this. And Pearl gets mad about it. And Freddie confronts Carly and is like, why is she mad? And obviously, yes, Carly knows more about Freddie than Pearl does because Carly's known Freddie for over 15 years now. Shoot, 20 years. Pearl comes back mad and she said, the reason why you know a lot about this, just for the fact that Carly loves Freddie. And the season ends from there. And that kind of explains what's going to happen and season 3. And I have a feeling that the following season, the whole story is going to be about Freddie and Carly. So it looks like we're going back to this overarching story, which I'm not against at all. You know, even though I had problems with it at the first season, I didn't hate it whatsoever. So yes, I am very excited to see how season 3 is gonna be.
Later.
All right, my young individuals, we're gonna hit spoiler territory because I just saw the first 2 episodes of season 3. So I'm gonna tell you how I felt about the episode. So let's go with episode 1. Episode 1 is about Carly and Freddie, obviously, and how Carly feels about the whole situation. And she's been miserable again. She's been crying a lot because she has feelings for Freddie still. It looks like Freddie's basically trying to ignore the whole situation and doubling down the fact that he loves Pearl. And it was really a silly episode. You know, you can see the entire episode Carly trying to pull out this huge stunt to avoid talking with Freddie. And for the bleed plot, Mrs. Benson is engaged with Lubert, and Millicent wants to be the maid of honor. And it's not really a huge deal. It's not really a bright spot of the entire episode. So I will say I'm kind of disappointed that Harper wasn't in this episode a lot. All right, so episode 2 is basically a continuation of episode 1. Carly's very depressed about Freddie because, you know, she still likes Freddie, obviously. So this whole episode is about Carly trying to find a new guy so she could just pretend that she doesn't have feelings for Freddie. And on the other hand, Freddie is getting kind of jealous because, you know, Carly's looking for some guys and Freddie's not one of them. But by the end of the episode, Pearl basically tries to kill Carly, ends up breaking up with Freddie, and she ends up dating the dude that Carly was dating, while Freddie gets pissed with Carly's shenanigans. Carly and Freddie make up with a hug and saying that we need to be more mature about this whole thing and let's be friends. And Carly is just okay with that, and they hug each other. But, you know, Freddie still likes Carly. And on the other hand, we get to see Harper's story, which is that she ends up meeting her old bully because she is very interested about the fashion that Harper does. And throughout the episode, Harper is trying to prove that she's just this rich fashion designer and trying to impress her bully, but they end up crap talking each other. But at the end of the episode, we find out that the bully actually did like Harper, and Harper obviously gets caught for being poor, and she likes her back, and they end up kissing. So it looks like Harper is gonna have a relationship in this season, unlike the previous season. And then there's a small C plot that Spencer gets a horrible review about an art piece. He gets criticized for not being relatable anymore. So he does is trying to waste all his money throughout the episode, buying stupid stuff. And at the end of the episode, Spencer makes more money. So I'm very excited to see the rest of the season, but I still have the same criticism as in why are we waiting a week for a new episode? This isn't the type of show that has super duper suspense that you have to wait a week. It's a sitcom. I believe they should have just dropped every episode and called it a day. But, you know, maybe things were different. Maybe Paramount Plus works differently. But I will say that this should have been dropped all at once. So tell me in the comments down below, how do y'all feel about this new iCarly last season and the recent 2 episodes? I would really like to know. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm out. Deuces.